Hi everyone, it's Mrs. Borkamp here, and I have some tips for you from online learning from Mrs. Borkamp, who's principal, teacher, and mom. Tip number 1, internet issues are going to happen. Treat them as though they're par for the course. I want you to take a deep breath and again, treat them as the par for the course. Our kids will feed off our own energy, so remind them that no one will ever be in trouble for having had internet issues. Pop back in when you're done having internet issues. Simply say, I'm sorry, Mrs. Borkamp. I was absent. I'm back now. I was having internet issues. Okay. Everything that your child will have missed will always be in their Google Classroom. No one will ever get in trouble for being kicked out of a meeting or freezing when online. Again, treat it like it's par for the course. Your kids will feed off your energy. Tell them to continue to work on what they've been doing or wait until the internet's come back up and gets running, or circle back and work on something that's been troubling you. Or take a much needed screen break and get some exercise. These are all options my own kids have. Internet issues are par for the course. Tip number 2, create good classroom habits right from the start. Remind your children, aka your students, that they are in a classroom. This space right here, right now, this is a classroom. What would you do if you were in a classroom and 5 other students had their hand up? I bet you'd wait your turn to be called on. What would you do if you were in a classroom and you were struggling to understand something? Your mom isn't there for you to ask for help, pester while she's trying to get some work done at home. Nope, you'd wait and discuss it with the teacher. This is a classroom. This space is a classroom. Treat it like it's a classroom. Set boundaries. Other kids are not allowed in my learning space. So if you have the space, separate your children. This is my child's learning area. This is snack time. This is learning time. Set good boundaries. Treat it like it's a classroom and set the stage from the beginning. Tip number 3, the adult at home is support staff and not the teacher. Mom, dad, grandma, whichever adult is with you is there to support you when you need it. If at first you've asked the teacher and you're still not sure what you're supposed to be doing or understanding a concept, or if you're having technical issues or not understanding the technology, then it's okay to ask mom. Moms, dads, grandmas, grandpas, you're allowed to say, I'm available during this time and this time and this time, okay? So you have to set some boundaries too. Visuals are helpful. So when I am online working, my kids know they can't come to me right this second. A visual schedule is helpful. So when you are and aren't available. And that will also be helpful for your child, aka your student. But mom or dads or grandma and grandpas or whatever adults there is a support. They are not your teacher. Make sense? Okay. Tip number 4, do not expect your student to know how to use all the technology tools in the first week, right? So don't expect that your child will be able to use all the technology that we've sent them home or we're asking them to do or use in the first day or even in the first hour. For reference, the virtual online students that began in September, they spent an entire week together in virtual learning, just learning how to use the technology and how to best utilize all their tools. Your kid or your child is going to learn it so much faster than you realize, but don't expect that by noon on the second day or the second week that they'll know always what to do. We know that kids absorb things like sponges and it'll be faster than you and I could learn, but we need to be calm, patient, and understanding with tech. Remember, they feed off your energy. Don't expect that they can mute or unmute or how to get whatever else set up, like a flash player or whatever other tech hiccups are going to happen with online learning. So give them time, patience, and give yourself some grace. Okay. Tip number 5, make lunches as per usual. This tip I personally found so helpful. Have them continue to make their own lunches like my kiddos who are in grade 8 can do, or if your children are younger than mine, continue to make their own lunches for them. Whatever you were doing in face-to-face learning, continue to do that now, okay? This will help so that you're not spending time in between learning, making them snacks or cleaning up after themselves. I want them to know that they can go grab a snack when it's snack time, grab their lunch when it's lunchtime, treat it like they were in a classroom. That also means they clean up their own garbage. They don't leave their crap lying around. They're in a classroom, right? So make their lunch like you would when they were in the classroom. It's a time saver, an energy saver, and a stress saver. And you get to spend break times as actual break times and not the chef on duty, okay? Tip number 6, when a student needs a break, give them permission to take a break. This one was vital for my own kids in particular when we moved to online learning. My boys' school was actually, their class had a case of COVID, so they were online for a couple of weeks prior to this new break. So we learned that if they need a break, they need a break. If they're overwhelmed, overstimulated, and not able to function with what is happening in the classroom, maybe there's too many students talking at the same time, or maybe they've got the lesson figured out and people online are still discussing it. Whatever is causing you to become overwhelmed or stressed out, take the break. So give your student permission to mute their class, set a timer, mute it for 5 minutes, check back in with your class. Okay, if you need more time, just simply leave a message in the chat box or the chat feature for your teacher that your child's working independently and they're coming back after a break. Easy peasy. All right, tip number 7, bathroom breaks are a human necessity. All right, this tip is actually a pet peeve of mine. Not sorry. For the love of all things holy, please teach your child that going to the bathroom and having a bathroom break is part of human nature. So students who are doing online learning, you don't need to interrupt the online learning in the classroom and tell your teacher that you're going to the bathroom. The reason we have to interrupt the class in a physical space is that it's a safety concern. Your teacher needs to know where you are at all times, right? Right? So when you're at home, your parents know that you're at home. They know that you're learning. So please don't interrupt the class to say, Mrs. Borkamp, can I go to the bathroom 800 times a day? All right, 2 more tips and then we're done for today. Tip number 8, your child doesn't have to stare at the screen to hear the lesson. Okay, so if you're overwhelmed by how much time your littles are having in front of the screen, I want you to know that you can simply turn the Chromebook around or even lay the device down and still allow your student to listen to the words. Have them work with it on a piece of paper and a pencil. I've done this with my own kids when their eyes were bugging out when they've looked at the screen for too much, or they were starting to develop symptoms of a headache. Or when it's been a lot of online learning for a day, no problem, too much screen time. Again, turn the device and have them listen, all right? Last tip for the day. So tip number 9, above all else, do what feels right for you and your family. That's it. So I hope that you truly know you'll figure it out. Right? I truly hope that this works out as best as it can for you and your kids, your family. Your mental health, moms, dads, grandmas, grandpas, is really important. Remember, above all else, above all these other tips, do what you can for your family. Just keep us in the loop, okay? Tell us we're taking a break today. Tell us, our internet's bugging out. We need a break. Do what's right for your family. Okay, That's all my tips for today. 9 tips for online learning, and you'll see more of me tomorrow. Maybe, maybe not. We'll see you soon. Bye for now.